This movement module is designed for beginner squatters to really nail down their technique and understanding of lower body flexibility for squatting before moving on to variations that test the shoulders more or put you under more heavy loads. This module is specifically for athletes who can squat full or almost full but just need to tidy up technique and learn how to squat competently. Along with the hip hinge and deadlifting, squatting is one of the most poorly executed movements you'll see in the gym. And because of that, I've put some extra special attention into making sure that you take your time and learn how to do it properly. This movement module is one of a 3-part series to get you out of the corrective phase of training into the more intense front squatting and then back squatting. In this module, Module 1, you'll learn the basics of lower body flexibility and control. In Module 2, we'll be prepping you for some early strength development with the barbell goblet squat. And after that, the focus shifts to more flexibility work at the shoulders to enable you to front squat. In my opinion, one of the best exercises for athletic development. So this first movement module is going to focus on lower body flexibility for squatting and really anchoring your hips and legs to the ground via the foot. We're going to use a bit of a cheat code to encourage you into a perfect upright spinal position for squatting, and the game today is going to be training your hips and ankles to accommodate that perfect upright spinal posture. As you'll hear me say over and over again, I believe your spine is the most important segment of your body for athletic development, and never is that more important than when you squat. If your flexibility is limited, your spine will take the brunt of that dysfunction, so we want to clear up those restrictions and start practicing perfect technique right from the start. Okay, so the exercise we're going to use for this first squat movement module is the dumbbell goblet squat, and it's level 1 in the squatting exercise category. It's actually easier to do well than a bodyweight squat, believe it or not. First up, grab a medium weight dumbbell and grip it in a goblet grip so that the dumbbell hangs vertically and you hold it between the palms of your hands, weight touching your chest. This awkward position of the dumbbell forces your torso into an upright position, which is a really good thing for squatting. Okay, so let's get into it. Setup wise, you want your feet about shoulder width apart, keep the dumbbell touching your chest. From here, the instructions are dead simple for this first set. Squat as deep as you feel comfortable and keep your chest up. Don't worry too much about depth first time around, just get used to the movement. Pause this video here and let's go for 10 reps and just explore the movement and the range that you've got available to you. Okay, so in between your sets of dumbbell goblet squats, I'm going to teach you a Spider-Man stretch. Now this stretch is amazing for helping people who don't have any severe mobility restrictions to loosen up their hips to be able to hit 2 key positions when we're going to squat. First, driving the knees out, and secondly, being able to keep an upright torso whilst you squat. So I'll walk you through it now. Okay, so take up a press-up position, and then what you're going to do is bring one foot up to the hand and have it flat on the floor, pointing straight ahead. Rest your back knee down onto the floor, and now your aim is to touch the floor next to your heel with your elbow. We're going to spend a minute on each leg, so stay with me here and keep working up and down and try and stretch deeper into it each time. Keep your foot flat on the floor and drive that knee out of the way. Keep going and gradually trying to get your elbow closer to the floor. If you can't quite touch the floor next to your heel, then you can try slightly towards the midline and try and reach there. That's a little bit easier. Or even slightly ahead of your body as well. But for 1 minute, we're just going to keep trying to work down closer to your heel each time. And what you should feel is a big stretch in your groin, and your hip might be on a big stretch as well. So we're just going to keep working that hip into this position. Keep your foot flat on the floor, drive that knee out, keep trying to work that elbow towards the floor. Last few seconds now. Really try and reach down towards the heel, down towards your heel, and then rest there. Okay, you're going to switch sides, so bring the other foot up this time. I'm not going to talk you through that in the same fashion. Set your clock for a minute, and then again on the other side, just try and work your elbow down towards your heel. Okay, so next we're going to return to a second set of squats. We're going to try and use some of that new hip range that you've just developed with the Spider-Man stretch. So grab your dumbbell again. I just want you to test if it feels any different after that set of stretching. Pause the video and another set of 10 squats, please. Does it feel any different? If it does make a big difference, like it does for a lot of people, consider adding that Superman stretch to a lot of your movement prep to help open your hips for other movements as well as squatting. Right, next part of this tutorial, as promised, we're going to teach you some more sophisticated cues to work towards a really solid technique for goblet squatting. Take your time with the next 2 sets of goblet squats. This next part is key to excellent squatting, and we're going to talk about feet. So what might not be immediately obvious is that when you squat, we want to use your foot to create a strong anchor point at the floor to enable your hip to generate stability, and in doing so control your knee, ankle and foot as you flex into a squat. Using your hip to control your entire leg is called proximal hip control, and it's a really important concept in athletic development, physical performance and also injury prevention. Okay, so we're going to teach you this concept in front of a mirror. If it's safe to do so, take your shoes off so you can easily see your both feet in the mirror. Stand with feet little wider than shoulder width apart, fairly straight, and what I want you to do is grip the floor between your heel and your big toe. You'll find many contact points with the floor and your foot, and you'll feel the sole of your foot activate. Now, this is the important bit. Whilst gripping the floor, if you turn your knees out and away from each other, you might notice 2 things. Firstly, your hip is doing the work of turning your knees out. And secondly, if you're still gripping the floor, the arch of your foot, the inside of your foot, will raise up. Even if your feet are really flat, you'll notice a small rise. In gripping the floor and turning your knees out, you've now created a highly active foot, and you're forging a strong connection between the foot and the hip. As we said, this is known as good proximal hip control, and that just means your hip is controlling not just your foot, but also your ankle and knee. Okay, next up, what I want you to do is try squatting with this active foot and knee positioning. You're going to do 5 to 10 reps. Once you've done that and you can feel the connection with the floor, pop your shoes back on, grab your dumbbell, and you're going to do a 3rd set of dumbbell goblet squats. This time focusing on gripping the floor with your feet and turning the knees out. Here you can see, even with my shoes on, I can really think about gripping the floor between my big toe and my heel and keeping both in contact as I drive the knees out. Okay, so 1 more round to go and 1 more tutorial in this movement module, nearly there. So return to your Spider-Man stretch, 30 seconds on each side this time. This time round I want you to grip the floor with your foot just like during your squat and drive your knee out as far as you can while trying to touch the floor with your elbow. Just work more intensely for this shorter period of time. Up and down, 30 seconds on each side. Avoid the temptation to lose contact of your big toe with the floor as you drive your knee out. So this is your final set of this movement. The focus of this final set is going to be to drive as much mobility from around your hips as possible to create an upright torso whilst gripping the floor with your feet. Grab your dumbbell again. I'd encourage you to go heavier if you can, just to force you to be more disciplined with your spine. Keep your feet fairly straight, grip the floor between the big toe and heel. As you get going, drive the knees out, squat as deep as you can, and keep your torso as upright as possible. Keep that big toe on the floor. 5 reps this time, fewer reps so you can really focus on all these technical pieces. Okay, so that marks the end of this movement module and a recap of what we've done here. Firstly, we talked about gripping the floor between your big toe and heel to set up an anchor point from which to create hip control of your lower body. Second, we used the Spider-Man stretch to drive hip external rotation whilst the foot is firmly anchored to the floor. And third, having enough hip mobility to hold an upright torso as you deep squat, driving the knees out each time. So repeat this movement module to keep refining your goblet squat and get ready to build upon this with one of the other squat modules which builds directly on top of this one. Firstly, mastering the barbell goblet squat for getting stronger and developing shoulder flexibility for my favourite exercise, the front squat, to transition into the fundamentals theme. Thanks for watching.